Everyone, welcome back. So in this session we are going to learn how we can create a EC2 instance and how we can install Nginx on it, also how we can host a node server on it. Okay, so let's get started. I am really excited and I hope you guys are also excited to learn this. Okay, so first go into the search bar and type for EC2. Now from here just click on EC2. So what is the full form of EC2? The full form of EC2 is Elastic Cloud Computing. Okay, now so from here we can create instances. So either you can click on here and from here you can click on launch instance, or you can directly from this EC2 dashboard click on EC2 dashboard, you can just click on launch instance. Like in the previous video I already mentioned, just keep your eyes here, okay, in which region you are creating this. Okay, and also now let's create a instance. I am clicking on launch instance. Now first thing what I need to do is I need to provide a name of that server. So it could be your domain name or some name that you can easily identify that what was the purpose of creating this particular instance, right? So you could have in Mumbai region you could have 10 instances running for 10 different domains or 10 different applications. So in that case, if you don't give a proper name, it will be confusing in later stages or couple of months later, like which instance is used for which services. Okay, now I am giving it a name like first test server. Okay, now next we need to select a application OS image. So what is this? Basically we are choosing like what is the OS we want to use. We want to use Ubuntu, or we want to use Mac OS or Windows or Linux. So basically Linux, Ubuntu, AWS or Amazon Linux, and Ubuntu, Red Hat, and we have other distribution Debian and these things. So these are all Linux distribution. Okay, so you can choose any one from here. Now I am for this session choosing Ubuntu as our go-to operating system. Okay, now the next thing we need to choose is Ubuntu OS version. So just like for Windows we have Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. So you mentioned that you want to use Windows, but which version you want to use, right? So that is I am mentioning here that we are going to use Ubuntu, and from here we can choose. So by default the latest stable version is selected, which is 24.04. We can go with it, but for this training or for this session we will be choosing 22.04. okay, there is no difference. I am just choosing it one step backward so that I will have most compatibility in case something is broken in 24.04. okay, so now once the application was selected, next is instance type. So this is basically hardware. Okay, so we already choose the software we are going to use. Now it boils down to hardware. What is the hardware we are going to use? So we are going to by default use whatever the free tier eligible hardware is provided to us. So currently this is T2 micro, which is providing us 1 vCPU, virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM, and we have 8 GB of storage. I will show you where that is mentioned. Now if I click on it, from here I can choose different instances also. Okay, so for example we have one, this is large, so 2 virtual CPU with 8 GB memory, 2 virtual CPU with 4 GB RAM, so T3.x large, 4 virtual CPU with 16 GB of memory, and so on and so forth. Now the next thing, once we are done with the hardware, now the next thing is key pair logging. So this is something important. Okay, so this key pair you will use it to log in with your instance. Now how we can create a key pair? So either if we already created a key pair earlier, it will show up here, or we can generate a new key pair. So for this purpose we will be creating a new key pair. So I am clicking on create new key pair. Here I will give the name of my key. Okay, so it for this case it will be, let's make it simple. So first test server. Okay, now these are to the encryption method, you can choose anyone, and this is the key format. Okay, I am using Mac, so I am gonna go with PM. If you are on Linux, that means your local system, in that case you can go with PM. But if you are using Windows system, in that case you need to use .ppk. Okay, and for .ppk you need to use, or you need to download a software called Putty. You can just Google it, click on download Putty. From here click on just download Putty, and from here you can just, based on your system configuration or system architecture, you can just download a installable MSI file and just download it. Okay, and you can just connect with it. I'll just give you a reference. So let's say you can just Google it, how to connect SSH using Putty. So let's say, let me go into this one. Okay, so you can see here, first thing what you need to do, here you need to put your instance IP address. Next you need to click on this SSH. Once you extend this SSH, you will have another option called auth. Once you extend that particular auth, it's not shown here, once you extend that particular auth, you will have an option to select the key. Okay, under that auth you will have two options. One of them is credential. Okay, if you click on the credential, you will have a selection box here. Just click on browse and select your .ppk file and click on open. Once you click on open, it will ask you for username. Just provide your username and you will be connected to the instance. Okay, now while connecting, I'll show you what are the other methods without downloading Putty I can use. So first let's go ahead and create this key. Now I'm clicking on create key pair. As soon as I click on create key pair, it is downloaded. Okay, by mistake I have selected .ppk file. Okay, so let me just create another one. Okay, so this is the key name, second login key, and PM will be the format. Create key pair, downloaded, and the file is downloaded. So I am choosing second login key. Okay, done. Now once I am selected key pair, the next thing is network settings. So in network setting, just select allow HTTPS and allow HTTP. Okay, or you can, for now you can unselect allow HTTPS also. Let's keep it allow HTTPS for now. Now in configure storage, so this is the part where the storage is provided. So earlier I showed you that this is the hardware selection where I am getting one virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM. But what about the storage? So that particular storage I mentioned 8 GB. So this is that particular 8 GB of storage. Okay, from here you can choose different type of storage also. This is basically the type of storage. So obviously GP3 is better than GP2. Now you can create, or in a single instance you can add multiple volume also. So I can just click on add new volume and create a new volume. Okay, but I'm not going to do it, and I am done with here. So all the options that we have selected can be visible here. So I have chooses this 22.04 Ubuntu. Now this is the instance type, a new security group will be created, and the storage is 8 GB. So at the same time, with the same configuration, if I change or increase the number here, I can create that amount of instances. So with the same configuration, if I want to create 10 instances, I can just write 10 here and 10 instances will be created. Now I am clicking on launch instance. So my instance is getting launched, and this is my launch log. Okay, now if I go into instances, I can see that first state server is already created and it is currently in pending state. So give it a couple of second or minute to start. Once it is start, we'll have another thing called status check, where AWS will check the health of this particular system, that it is okay or not. If it is okay, you will have a green text saying that okay, it is passed. So yeah, now you can see our instance is currently running and the status check is initializing. Okay, so while the status check is going on, let's try to connect with this particular instance. Okay, so before connecting with this instance, let me just show you how you can connect it using without using any external software. Okay, so I can just click on this instance, or I can just select that particular instance, and here I have connect button. I can just click on this particular connect button. Once I click on this connect button, I will have this window selected by default. But remember, if you are in this any other window, just select EC2 instance connect, this particular tab. Under this, you will have all the details, and this is the username, okay, of this particular instance. Now if I, or you can say your root user. Now if I say connect, once I click on connect, it will open a new tab and it will establish the connection. So I am currently logged in or connected with this particular instance. So this is one way, and Windows guys, you can just connect it this way if you are having trouble with PuTTY, because in my experience using PuTTY, sometimes PuTTY application gets lagged and it will be like hanged. So I'll prefer, if possible, you can just use this particular way to connect with the instance. Now for Linux and Mac guys, we have another option to connect with this particular instance. What we can do, so let me just first check where the file was downloaded. Okay, so the file was downloaded here. So let me just open a new window. Let me cd to downloads. Once I'm in downloads, what I can do, I can change mod 400 to which file, this accond second login key.pm. Once I am done, what I can do, I can just connect with this particular instance using this particular key. So how to do it, let me just show you that also. So again, I am selecting this instance, clicking on connect. Now under this SSH client, I have this particular key already provided. So this is my public IPv4 DNS name, public DNS. Okay, instead of this one, I can use my public IP address also. Where I can get it, let me just show you. I am selecting this one again. So here you can see my public IPv4 DNS. Instead of this one, I can also use my public IPv4 address also to log into. Let me just show you in practical. So let me just click on this one. I just copy that particular command, paste it in my terminal, clicked on enter. Now it is asking me, because this is the first time I am authenticating using to this particular domain using this key. So let me just type yes. Once it is added, and boom, I am just logged into the server. Now let me just show you the other way also. I can click on exit. Now let me just copy again, paste, and delete this part. Okay, so now what I am going to do here, I am just going to copy this particular IPv4 address, paste it here, click on enter, and again for this particular IP address, this is the key I am using first time. That's why I need to say yes, because it's going to store the details in my system. Once I click on yes, I am connected to the instance. So let me just exit and show it again to you with both of these. So now if I just use the public IPv4 DNS and hit enter, see, I didn't need to provide that particular yes again. So I can just exit. Let me just instead of using from here, I'll show you using from here. Okay, so once I am connected to this particular instance, let me just check if the security check is completed. Okay, so the security check is completed. The status checking is completed and it is currently in healthy status. So what I first need to do, first let's type sudo apt get update. Okay, it will update all the repositories. So let's wait for a couple of seconds to finish, let it be finished. And we are done updating our package list. So once we are done updating our package list, now we are going to install Node, because currently if I check, there is no Node.js found. Okay, so let me just, you can go into this dev.nodesource.com, this particular URL. Okay, and from here we can just select this particular curl command and paste it in our terminal. So this particular 20.x, this is going to install any version of 20 up of Node.js. If you want to select any or download any version of 18, you can just type 18 here, or if you want to download anything related to 16, you can just download 16 here. But if you are using latest Ubuntu or something like me 22, in that case I will recommend you to go with 20 or latest Node.js version. Okay, because if you are going with older version, you will see a lot of error. Now let me just hit enter. So it is getting downloaded and the file download is almost done. Yeah, so the file download is completed. Now what we can do, we can just go here and copy this particular comment and paste it in the terminal. Now if I provide this Y flag while I will be downloading this Node.js or installing any type of application, if I provide this -y, what will happen, it will, if system needs to, let's say system downloading 20 KB or 2 MB file, okay, in that case it will ask for your permission that okay, so after installing this particular package, you will have less, like 2 KB less memory, or will be downloading 20 MB files, and it will just inform you. So that time you need to say the system, yes, you can go ahead and download. So by providing the -y flag, you are before starting to download or installing this your packages, you are saying that you can go ahead and download everything. So let me just show you what will happen if I don't provide this -y flag. If I hit on enter, so let's it's getting installed. Okay, so it is already installed. What I have mentioned you is got false here. I'll show you what is the difference of providing -y and not providing the -y flag. Now once I am done, now if I check for Node.js version, I can see that 20.17.0 is installed, and if I do npm-v, in that case I can see my npm version also. So that means my Node.js package is installed. So if I do ls, nothing is here. What I can do is, now I can install a package called Express. What is Express? Express is nothing but basically a wrapper of Node.js. It will help to build the web servers much more easier way. So I am just installing Express. Okay, so once Express is installed, if I do ls, you can see we have lot of files here. So we have node modules, package.json and package log.json. Never delete this package.json if you are using a Node.js application. I hope you guys are already aware about that. Now what I need to do, I need to provide a file. Okay, so you can just visit my repository. I have already some particular files created for this particular session. I can just go and type for, let's say, github.com/desuntech. Once I am in this github.com/desuntech, I can go into our repositories, and in the repositories what I can do, you can, this first repository AWS teaching test resources. You can just click on it and you can just download it. Okay, but I am not going to download it. What I am going to do, I am just going to open the content of this app.js, copy this particular code, come into my terminal, and here I will type sudo nano app.js. What it will do, it will open app.js file in my terminal, and I will be able to edit or modify that particular file. If this particular file is not present, then it will be created. So let me hit enter. So you can see now I am in text editor mode. I can just paste whatever the content I have copied from here. So my application will be running on port number 3000. Now I can just press Ctrl plus O. It will just save the file. Then I can press Ctrl plus X. It will just close the editor. Now I can do node app.js, and you can see it is printed in console that server is running at HTTP localhost 3000. Okay, so till now what we have done, we have created the instance, we have updated the repositories of that particular instance, we have installed Node.js, we have installed Express to run a basic application, we have seen how we can create and edit a particular file in the terminal itself using sudo nano command and the file name, and we have started the particular server. Now let's say check if I can access this particular server. So let me go back into the instance, copy this IP address, and in the browser let me just paste it. So when I paste it, it's not working. Now the port is, let's see what is the issue. So my website is running on port number 3000. Okay, so you have seen that here also with the domain name port number 3000 is present, right? So that means I need to, so if it is a local host, my domain name, then I needed to provide a 3000. So let's provide the 3000 and try to check. So if it is taking so long, in that case you can be 100% sure that something is wrong and it's not going to work. Okay, so let me tell you the reason why it's not working. I'll just have to explain a bit, just bear with me. Let me go, already my instance is selected. Now let me go into the security tab. Okay, from here, this is the security group where my instance belongs to. So this security group, what is a security group? So basically a security group is kind of like a firewall where you have mentioned that okay, in this particular security group I have this access, firewall access. Now once under that security group you can assign multiple instances. Okay, and once you assign multiple instances there, all those instances will inherit whatever the permission is provided under the security group. So right now we have two rules. We have one inbound rules, another one is outbound rules. So inbound rule is basically incoming request, outbound rule is outgoing request. Now in the inbound rules, like on which ports server is listening for. So this particular instance, this is my server. So this server is listening to which ports for incoming request. So you can see that my server inbound rules have 3 ports. One is 80, another is 22, another is 443, right? So 80 is for HTTP, 443 for HTTPS, and 22 is for SSH. How did I know that? So you can also know about it. So just click on this particular security group and open it in a new tab. Now here, if I just, you can already see that it is mentioned here that IPv4 is the IP version and type, HTTP port range is 80, SSH port range is 22, HTTPS port range is 443. Okay, and they are requesting or accepting request from anywhere. Now if I click on edit inbound rules, I need to add something. So you can see my application is running on port 3000, not on port 80, not on port 443, not on port 22, because 22 is already used for SSH. So not on port 80, not on port 443. It is running on 3000. So what I need to do, I need to go into my particular security group and I need to add a new rule here. So to add a new rule, I need to click on edit inbound rule, because I need to add a new inbound rule. Please just keep it in mind. If you are having issue, just going back and try to listen to it on a repeat. I hope you will understand it. If you still have any confusion, just drop a comment. I'll definitely try to reply to you. So let's click on edit inbound rules. Here, straightforward, I can just create another rule. Let me just select or click on add rule. From here, what I can do, let it be custom TCP, but port range, this should be 3000. Okay, now here I am just selecting that I want to listen from every source. Okay, so you can see already it's selected anywhere IPv4. So any IPv4 request, I will be listening to port 3000. Now I am just saving this rule. As soon as I save the rules, it is already applied to my instance. Now let me go back here and click on or refresh this particular page. Voila, and my website is live. So this is so easy to create an instance and spin it up, install Node.js and host a application there. Okay, so this is the basic way to host a Node.js application. Now, as I promised to you guys that I will show you how we can install Nginx also. So Nginx runs on port number 80. So let me just remove this 3000 from here. Now you can see that if I remove the 3000, I cannot see my website, right? So if I just go again into my instance, only my 3000 port is working. So port 3000 working, but port 80 is not working. Okay, so let me just install Nginx. So remember, Nginx by default listen to port number 80. So let me close this ongoing Node.js server. Now if I go again, as my server is not running, it will show that the site can't be reached. Okay, so let me just clear my console and install Nginx. So to install the Nginx, we need to do sudo apt-get install Nginx. I am not providing any -y flag here. See what will happen if I don't provide the -y flag. If I click on enter, see, once this is downloaded, it is asking me, do you want to continue? If I say yes, it will continue. If I say in and enter, it will abort, right? So you have seen what will happen if I don't provide the Y flag. What will happen if I will provide the Y flag, -y flag? I mentioned that if it's need to download anything, it will just ask me that okay, I need to download this stuff, and I can manually go and say yes. And if I don't want to do it, then I can just provide the -y flag. Now let's hit enter. You can see that I have not got any prompt that okay, this will be downloaded, do you want to continue or not, like last time. It is by default took the -y flag and completed the download process. Okay, so that is the purpose of -y flag. Now what I need to do, Nginx is installed. Now I need to start my Nginx, right? So how can I do it? So I need to type command sudo system control or systemctl. Now I need to start Nginx, Nginx. Once it is done, I need to enable Nginx. So same way, I need to type again sudo system control or systemctl enable. Basically, even if I am saying control, system control, you should type it here systemctl, not system control. So sudo systemctl enable Nginx. What it will do, it will enable the Nginx service. Okay, how can I check if my Nginx is enabled, I can type sudo systemctl status Nginx. You can see the Nginx service is running, right? Now if I go and visit this website, welcome to Nginx, you can see the default Nginx page which is provided by Nginx. Also, this is currently we are hitting using our IP address, correct? What I can do, I can just go here and go into select my instance, go into details tab, copy this public IPv4 DNS, okay, and just let me open a new tab and I can just paste it here. So you can see for this domain also I am getting welcome to Nginx, so both are same. Also, if I put a colon and 3000 here, my Node.js application will be visible, but currently it is not running, so it will throw error. Let us check. So yeah, it is throwing error. Now if I so now if I just go here and type node app.js, let me just see in which directory I am at. Okay, I have the app.js file here, so node app.js. So my server is running currently. What I can do, I can just go here, hit enter, and yeah, my website is running, correct? So this is how you can create a instance, install Nginx and Node.js on it, and you can host your website or web server there, or any backend application there, right? So also we have learned how if we are using a particular port, which is like for our case we have used 3000 for running our Node.js application. We have seen how we can enable or how we can enable the feature or enable the port listening functionality, so that if any request is coming to that particular port, my server or my instance should be able to receive and listen to that particular request and give proper response. Why I have not changed anything in outbound? Because outbound is listening to all port range for all protocol, okay, that's why there is nothing I have changed. But for inbound I needed to add this particular port range, okay. So this is all in our EC2 instance setup. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it and you have learned something. If you have any doubt or if you have any questions or any confusion, just go ahead and type in the chat or type in the comment, drop a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos, share this video with your friends and anyone who in need, who or anyone which you feel like can get benefit from this particular video session, okay. So okay, bye, let's meet into next session.